We have recruiting meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays as a staff, which Coach Frost and the rest of the staff, we all kind of get together, and there's a list of about 15 to 20 guys that we kind of breeze through, and hey, here's the guys that we're really looking at, and which gives us a chance as a whole entire staff that they might be a receiver over in California that Troy's recruiting, but I may be able to contact him, hit him up on Twitter, via phone, situations like that. So we're all kind of tag teaming together.
How do you guys manage the official visits this year with having 13 that you can use now in the spring and the summer? Do you want guys to come in for the spring game or the spring, or would you still prefer kind of September guys to come in and see the campus in September?
Well, I like the real true game atmosphere. For me, from the recruiting guys from the South, I'm trying to push those guys to September, October, November, to really get the real true effect of a game and the game experience. We will have some that we're going to probably try to push for the spring game. That's up to Coach Frost, but I think he wants to err on more of trying to bring guys in during the season. That seemed to have worked out pretty good for us, and try to keep that for us, particularly kids in the South, get those guys here so they can see a game atmosphere.
You have to kind of survey kids and find out if they're the kids that want to decide before their senior season starts, because obviously those are probably the guys that you have to try to get in here earlier just because they're going to try to make a decision before the season starts.
And that's something that we're always constantly talking to guys right now, particularly me for the tight end position. If there's guys that we know it's going to be a mid-year guy, we got to try to line some things up. And a lot of it is based on what he's already got set too. He may have some stuff set, in the summer, as far as official visit, and then for us to get in the game with him, we may have to bump it up. So it's all predicated on each individual situation.
Do the financial realities of trying to get somebody from the South to Lincoln make it harder for you to hold them off to the fall? It does.
It does. We try to target guys and try to get them here unofficially first, but there are some circumstances where we can't make that work. My biggest sale is direct flight from Atlanta area. It's a little bit tougher in Florida as far as direct, but there's direct flights out of Atlanta, so I try to sell that to those guys. Hey, there's a direct flight. Try to get it in your plans so we can reach out in front so we can get you in either Omaha or Lincoln in here so you can see this place.
How the guys come back today just after a break like that?
Well, I thought they were a little sluggish as far as reacting to things. They know where they're going. They're just a step slow as far as particularly looking at the tight end position. But those guys knew they were a step slow at the end of practice, and I guarantee those guys are going to be ready to go on Wednesday. We're going to clean up some things tonight. And then also tomorrow, those guys will be ready to go. We had a really good practice on that Friday before we left when we were in pads, really good scrimmage, and we set a standard there. So on Wednesday, to put the pads back on, that's the standard we want to try to beat.
When you have such an established group of tight ends coming back, how do you find ways to challenge them as far as the depth chart and competition in spring ball?
Competition, we talk about it, every single day. Today, I just threw Kirk Rafdal in front at the ones today for the most part of the day, trying to get Austin Allen
just get guys mad
to make sure that he understands. I got to make sure that's not my spot right now. So I try to juggle those guys around. Some periods I may not play a guy, so they may be thinking I'm upset with them. No, it's all about competition, making sure you're going out and compete every single time.
So
every rep.
Sorry, go ahead. Did they handle that well?
Yeah, they do. They know Coach Beckton demands a lot out of those guys, and they are a group. They're a tight knit group, part of the tight end group, and we want those guys to support each other. And when that guy gets elevated up, I don't want to see anybody soaking back there. They need to make sure they're picking that guy up.
Sorry if you've been asked about this already, but how much just health-wise you get out of Chris Hickman this spring, and what can he learn in the early part of his career?
Well, he's taking a back seat right now. I'm trying to get some of these other guys a lot of reps right now. Chris is going to progress into a role once we get his body up to where it needs to be, as far as physically right now. Mentally, he's doing a great job of understanding what's going on, but physically right now, I don't feel good about him right now. He's got to put on some weight.
You knew that when you got him, though, that was going to be a sort of process.
So, but he's had a great attitude throughout every single meeting we've been through and every single practice. He's been a part of out there on the field. Being around and being energetic. He's right in my hip pocket for any question that he has, and then he stays after the meetings. If there's something he does not really understand, he makes sure he gets it before he leaves out of the meeting. So I really like where his attitude is right now.
Hey, Sean, what's it been like for you guys as a staff to see Coach DeWitt in here as much as he has this spring and fighting the way that he is?
It's unbelievable, the fortitude that he has. Obviously, we're all a close-knit staff. Our families are close-knit. My wife does a lot, for her, his wife right now with the kids and whatnot. So we all kind of working together. We cook food for him on certain nights and, trying to lend a hand there. But, he's a very, very motivated guy. He showed up last night in a team meeting, and you can see just pressing on. And it really, really means a lot for us and the rest of the guys that he put forth the effort to at least pop his head in there and do what he can. We know he's going to have some days, up and down days, but we just appreciate him giving us that when he comes in and we can just smile at him and, give him a hug. He needs us just as much as we need him. So, and he understands that.